We all know the importance of credit scores in our lives. It takes a very important role whether we're going to get approved for financing and the better terms and get the better rates as we move forward in our life. Now, if our credit's not so good, then it can sometimes feel like the world's against us. We're going to be paying more for the same thing as our counterparts and peers that have the better credit score. So if you have a collection on your account, what should you do? If paying it off, is it going to boost your credit score or not? These are all relevant questions, and they're all questions that we're going to get to the bottom of today in today's episode when we take a closer look at the truth about paying off your collections to boost your credit score. My name is Andrew Finney, your real estate geek. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, my contact info is below. If you're new here, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. For reference, I upload 6 days a week, so tap the bell icon and YouTube will let you know of one of the videos I make at some point in the future. Okay team, let's take a closer look at this. Obviously, if you have a collection on your account right now, it's likely making it very hard for you to get financing, and it's putting a lot of pressure on you to go ahead and pay down the current debts that you have to try to establish positive credit history in your favor. So the first step is really learning how it impacts you overall having a collection in your account and the importance of maintaining and earning a great score. Now obviously there's a lot of really simple things that you can do to maintain and earn a great score. If you're paying your debts on time, if you're paying them off a little bit faster than would be typical, maybe not paying just that minimal balance, but being responsible with your credit, paying it back quicker. And again, going back to being responsible with your credit, not tapping it out. Just because you got a credit card limit of $5,000 or $15,000 or whatever the case may be, doesn't mean that you need to go shopping and use that borrowed money, because that's what you're doing. You're borrowing money that you don't have and you're agreeing to repay it in the future, hence the word credit and why it can present an issue. Sometimes people get approved for these credit cards and they don't realize the impacts of maxing them out, unfortunately, until after they've already done it and they realize how hard it's going to be to really pay it down over time. Now, a little bit of common sense, a little bit of prudence, and a little bit of discipline on your shopping and spending habits will go a long ways here. So number two, let's take a look at what happens if you have a collection account and what happens to your FICO score. When you fail to pay a financial obligation, the creditor will eventually just say, hey, you know what? They're not going to pay us back, unfortunately, and we're just going to say, we don't know if we're going to get the debt back. We're going to write it off on our books, but we're not going to stop there. We're going to send them to a collection agency that specializes in recouping debt, and they may go ahead and contract with that collection agency that's going to hound you day in, day out, all the time. They're going to keep sweating you. The bigger the balance, the more they're going to sweat you, the more dangerous they're going to become. And one of the ways that the collection agency is going to compel you to pay your defaulted debt is by reporting the collection account to the credit reporting bureaus. When that happens, your credit score is about to get sunk, and it's about to get sunk hard. You're going to notice a big dip. It could be 50 points, 100 points, 200 points. It depends. Going into collections is a major life impacting decision. Now, I say decision, but the reality is this. Sometimes we lose a job, sometimes somebody gets sick, and you have no other recourse but to let something go to collections, even though that's not your desired impact. If that's your case, then I truly feel for you and I support you, and I just want you to know that better days are ahead. Just go ahead and pull everything back, rein in the spending, and make the appropriate course and go ahead and get everything paid off, satisfy everything, and move forward. So if it's not your case and you just made a bonehead mistake, well, we all live once and we all make mistakes. It's okay too. Just learn from the mistake and not repeat the mistake. If you keep making the same mistakes again and again and again, life's never going to get any better. It's about doing the right thing and learning from your mistakes so that you can make life better for you and the people that you surround yourself with, whether it be your family, kids, what have you, or whatever you choose to do in the future, right? The third thing to realize is the credit score impact of a collection, right? So collection accounts are not good for your credit scores. They are the anti-credit score, but they're not always quite so bad for your credit score either, especially if you already have credit scores that have been polluted and contaminated by a bunch of negative effects already. Another negative effect isn't going to probably have too much if you're already at the bottom of the barrel. I mean, let's face it, right? If you're already at the very bottom of the credit report, it doesn't get any lower. It just makes it a little bit harder to climb out of. But what happens when you decide that you want to buy a home, when you're tired of renting because you see rents are increasing? What happens when you decide that you need a new pair of wheels to go out there and go ahead and get a job and start being productive? It can make it extremely difficult for you to get financing, and the financing that you can get is going to come with an absorbently high interest rate, and it's if you can even get the financing, because they're going to use a credit scoring model to determine and assess the risk of lending money to you. And if they see a whole bunch of derogatory remarks, and they see negative remarks, and they see late payments, and they see things going on with you that aren't so kosher, then they're going to be saying, I don't know if I really want to loan to this person, but if I do, I'm going to consider them a risky investment, and I'm going to go ahead and ensure that I'm getting the appropriate return for my risk on my investment into this person. So going into like 20% interest rates or going into 30% interest rates or whatever the case may be will not be uncommon for you if you're in this position. So you need to understand then what can you do to get yourself into a better position, right? So number 4 in today's episode is, will settling that debt help increase your credit score? Well, the bad news is that it's not going to be quick, and it's not going to be easy to undo a negative credit score damage caused by collection accounts. The reasons are a couple fold, right? Then number one is the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the FCRA, allows most collection agencies to remain on a credit report for up to 7 years. I mean, 7 years is a long honking time. So, I mean, if you're in the position and you're actually not paying a debt willingly, then you're making a really big boo-boo, because it's going to impact you for 7 years into the future if you stop making the wrong decisions today. If you're in the position that I talked about earlier today, as we live our life, we go through good times, we go through bad times, and you fell in some hard times, then just know it's going to stick with you with 7 years. But the same successes that you've enjoyed in life by making sure you paid your bills on time and everything can circle back around and boost your credit score. Does that mean that for all 7 years you're not going to be able to get a loan? No. It just means that it's going to take 7 years for it to drop off your credit report. A derogatory remark isn't the end of the world. I mean, let's face it, it's really not. I mean, it's not like life or death or anything, right? It can make things a little bit more difficult, but by all means, it's not going to kill us. At the same time, if you start making the right decisions today, you pay your debts on time, and you make sure that you don't have any other accounts that go into collections, and what you're likely to see is a boost of your credit score over a period of time of maybe 3 to 4 years. You got to buckle down, and you got to start making the right decisions today to pay the debts that you've incurred and go ahead and boost your credit score. You got to be responsible. Take ownership of your actions, because that's the only way you're going to succeed in anything in life. Number two is the credit scoring models currently used by most lenders were not designed to be forgiving. They're really not. Whenever a collection account is paid or settled, they're still not going to be so forgiving. They're not going to say, oh, okay, cool, you know, you didn't pay us for like 5 years, but yeah, because you brought it current, we're just going to be cool to you. Not going to happen. Instead, the mere existence of the collection account on your reports that causes this credit score to be damaged is not the balance. It may be very, very difficult for you to believe, but a debt of $10,000 is going to be considered the same as a debt of $1 that went to collections. So it doesn't matter the amount. The mere existence of the fact that you did not repay the debt is what does the damage, not the amount in as much as not paying. So that's the importance of trying to restructure it. If you're in a position in life right now where you have more debt than you can realistically pay, then perhaps what you would like to do is reach out to credit counselors. Perhaps what you would like to do is to call up your creditors and ask them if they can renegotiate the debt with you or restructure the repayment of it at a pace that you're able to do it by devising minimum payments that will keep you current and keep them from harming your credit score. The only way you're going to know is to pick up that phone and contact them. A lot of creditors would rather see you pay your debt even at a slower rate than not pay the debt at all. So again, take the first step. Your first step was clicking on this video. Very proud of you, very happy that you did that, and thank you for being here. The second step is up to you, and that's you picking up the phone with your creditors and asking them what they can do to help you out with repaying the debt that you have incurred. Okay, just in case you're wondering, why does that amount of money, $10,000, $1, whatever, why does that amount of money not matter when it comes down to your collection? And why is it so important that it shows that you have an unpaid account? Because if you let any account of any dollar amount go unpaid long enough, it will end up in default. And when you end up in default, it becomes predicative of elevated risk, which is why even paid collections don't result in a higher credit score as long as they're on your credit reports. That's the moral of the story. That's the truth of the matter about paying off collections and how it impacts your credit score. It's not necessarily going to boost your credit score even if you satisfy it, because it's going to stay on your credit report. So what's your next step? Your next step is to contact a credit counselor. Your next step is to contact a loan officer and get them working with you and alongside you to help you with the situation and provide you with more insight into your situation. As with all matters, with all things in loans, there are basic things that we understand on how these things happen, and then there's unique things to your situation that might be able to help you out. Without contacting a credit counselor or a loan officer, no one's going to be able to help you out. That's action step number 3 for you. First step was watching this video. Second step is calling your creditors, restructuring your debt so that you don't end up in default. And the third step is calling a loan officer or a credit counselor to start working with you to help you get on the right track so that you can get the best of loans available and help you move forward in life. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to tell me what you took away from this video in the comment section below, along with any of your other savvy tips about what to do with collections accounts and how to rebound your credit score. That way, you'll know what to do going forward, and you can have an action plan of real people on this channel that are watching it just like you, sharing their real life experience in the comment section below that you can learn from, that you can grow from, and you can move forward from, okay? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop up my contact information. If you simply wanna drop me a line to say hello, or if you need help finding a top agent in your area, please let me know. Always enjoy hearing from you. If you haven't already done so, I'm gonna ask you to do 3 things. Number 1, please subscribe to this channel. Number 2, please like this video. Number 3, please share this video around with someone you know it's going to be able to help, because just like you, I'm sure you can think of someone right now that could really benefit from the truth about this matter. Please share it with them. Thank you. And between now and next time, I'm wishing you and yours a lifetime full of love, wealth, abundance, and happiness. Thank you for watching today, team, and enjoy an amazing day.